What are your thoughts on practice today?
It was good. It was good. Spirited practice. Went live again. I think we got close to 50 plays, so we got a bunch of work done in a pretty small amount of time. We're probably up to 160, 170 plays live. This part of camp is good. So, we got some little knick-knack injuries here and there, but it's we got pretty much we expect everybody to be back, and so that's encouraging. Some of the guys that have been out for a while are making progress back, and so we expect them. Get those guys back as we hit midweek and certainly toward the end of the week.
What do you know about Cochran's injury?
It's going to be a couple weeks probably, but we think he's going to be fine. It's a good thing his MRI came back good, and he'll be ready to go in a couple weeks.
What do you think of McCary as the backup there?
It's good. Yeah, that's why we had Patrick there was in case something like this happened. We felt like he was ready to play. Felt like he was probably the sixth best O lineman. So we've repped him at center, we've repped him at guard, we've repped him at tackle, and the good thing was when somebody went down, he was ready to step in and go. And so that's, that's good planning and start working that direction.
Obviously, the ideal is you don't want to pull a red shirt off an offensive lineman, but what do you thought of Curhan?
Good, yeah, Jake's been really good. I think he's been kind of a pleasant surprise, I think, for all of us. He's a kid that, we liked him coming out of high school. The high school competition he played against probably wasn't the best, and so it was hard to get a real gauge on where he was going to be. I think him coming in the spring and having a chance to get settled in and get some confidence, I think was really important for him. And I think he went through the summer conditioning and kind of came out of summer going, I can do this. And I think he's ahead of schedule. And we'll see how he progresses. I think we'd probably like to redshirt him, but he's certainly ahead of the curve.
Between him and Johnson, who would you say was maybe your number three?
Probably Vinny right now. Okay. Vinny right now, but the good thing is we got options. Dwayne can play tackle. We're just trying to kind of figure it all out. But Vinny can certainly do it. We feel good about him doing it. I think he'd be the probably the next guy.
So you said a couple weeks. Does that mean it's kind of up in there for?
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to start. Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll kind of let it play out.
Is it a sprain or?
Yeah, he's got a sprained knee.
And that's his right knee, right?
It's the one that's got all the stuff on it.
What do you thought of Robertson's improvement over kind of each day, each rep? Good.
Yeah, the thing that's really honestly most impressive about him, he's got a great attitude and work ethic. But the thing I've been impressed with is the fact that, he's still. He hadn't faded physically. Normally you get a freshman in, we run the volume that we run in practice with our receivers, and those guys just wear down, and lose their legs, and he hasn't done that, and I think he's probably run as much as anybody on our program at this point, and and he's still looks fresh and still looks fast and hadn't lost his legs, and so that's unusual, and again I think it's kind of a testament to what kind of athlete he is and also how strong he is because he's a strong kid. And so, that's probably been the most pleasant surprise. And, he's eager to learn. He learns a little bit every day, gets a little more comfortable every day and just figures it out every day. And so, when you sit down and you look at the weeks, he's in a good spot going into week 2. Kind of like I said, kind of ahead of where I thought he might be.
Do you think Bug Rivera's kind of working himself into the mix?
Yeah, but definitely. Bug had a great summer. Bug had a good spring. Bug's one of those guys that we're going to count on to play some for us, and he's proven he can do it. There's no question in our mind he can be a good player and make plays.
Another walk-on that's getting some reps with Strickland out is done. What are your thoughts about him?
Yeah, Justin's one of those guys coming out of spring ball. If you went and looked at the practices in the spring, he just made a lot of plays. He was consistent. Works incredibly hard and just has been a good. Become a good little player for us. And, when you look right now at our receiver core, Worstel's done an excellent job. Pat's probably had as good a camp as anybody, and he's just consistent and makes plays. And Justin's kind of been that guy as well. He's he makes a lot of plays. And when the quarterbacks need to get the ball to somebody, he steps up and seems to be a guy that the quarterbacks trust.
What was behind the decision to move MSCB to fullback?
Well, we're just looking for a place for him to play. He's one of those tweeners. He's probably not athletic enough to be a defensive end. He's probably not quite big enough to be a tackle. But he's a really good athlete, and so we're trying to figure out a place for him to play. We think this move to fullback might suit his skill set, and he can have a chance to contribute. And I think that's you know, he's worked hard. He wants to have a chance to play, and you know, we thought we'd take a look at it.
How is NOI physically? He's been out for a few days.
Yeah, you know, he's good. I mean, he's coming back. You know, he's coming back. It's, you know, going to be a process, but he's, you know, I think he's kind of ahead of schedule. Feel good about where he is, and he'll just continue to do more and more as we progress.
What do you think about the run defense today?
I thought it was all right. You know, I mean, we're doing a lot of different things, and so, you know, we were looking at some eight, you know, some drop eight, kind of third and long stuff at times, and you know, and a lot of stunting and blitzing and different things. And so, you know, the offense creased the defense a couple of times, you know, get a guy out of a gap here and there, but then other times guys made some plays. So it was kind of hit or miss. And you know, when you're active and you got guys that could cover on the back end, it just allows you to be much more creative defensively. And I think that, you know, we're to that point now. We have enough depth. We're comfortable with our guys being able to cover, that now we can do more things on the back end. And you know, the corner blitzed a bunch today, and you know, when we do that, it's great because it gives you that edge pressure, but you got to make sure somebody gets in that gap. And a couple of times, you know, they popped one, but they also made a bunch of big plays in the backfield. So, you know, hit or miss, but I thought it was good overall.